Now, the next thing we are going to start here, some important commands we have to see. Actually, before of using this ETABS software, we need to understand some important settings, some important commands, some smart options of the modeling, some advanced in deep settings of ETABS software, so that you will be able to use this software confidently. To make you all familiar with this ETABS software, to make you all confident to work with the ETABS software, we are going to cover this some important commands and settings and some advanced modeling options, editing options. Okay, so that you will be confident to use this ETABS software. So it is what setting, editing, modifying, and all important commands for the smart modeling in ETABS software. So very first point is what different file formats of ETABS software. Many of the students are asking which version of ETABS software you will take in the training. Some of the students or participants are asking, sir, I am having 2016 version of ETABS software. Will it work? What I should do? Okay, so they are actually bothered about what versions of the ETABS software they are using. They are confused about which version of ETABS software they should actually use. So as I told you, the version of the ETABS software is not matter. Okay, it's not going to matter much more. So, but whatever the version you are having, let it to be, as I told you earlier also. But what difference will be there? In every year, the CSI is updating the version of ETABS software. So what improvements are there? So yeah, some commands, some basic options are going to be changed to a certain extent, but very minor changes will be there. Nothing else. Addition of the commands will be there. Additions of the options will be there. The things is not going to be removed. Okay, only addition will be there or updations will be there. For an example, this is what ETABS 16 version. So go to editor, go to edit story grid system, go to modify, show this system. So here what story color option is there. But if you are going to look at 2015 version, that is also in use in market. Most of the consultants even they are using. So like if you are going to look at that, so this option will not be there. Okay, so ये आपका कलर यहाँ पर हो जाता है, तो कलर से कुछ हेल्प हो जाता है. So वो क्या हेल्प होता है वो हम आगे देखेंगे. So yeah, the addition of the function is there. So obviously आपको हेल्प होगा. बट एनालिसिस में आपको कोई चेंजेस नहीं होने वाला है, डिजाइन भी आपका कोई चेंज नहीं होने वाला है. सो दैट विल बी सेम. सो versions of the software is not going to matter a lot. The things that I'm showing, that kind of so many examples I can take. But for just to make you sure what changes will be there, go to view. Here, show rendered view. Undeformed shape. Take the 3D view. Go to view. Show rendered view. It is what rendered view of your model. Realistic view of your model. Directly you can see, if you are using the 19 version to view the render view is little bit different. So that kind of changes will be there. So tell me, it is going to matter your analysis and design? No. So ये कुछ changes, कुछ slightly changes होते हैं. That is what actually the change over the version. But that is not important. The most important thing is to understand what actually matters when your versions of the software is going to be changed. Suppose these three file formats are very important. $et file, .edb file, .ebk file, backup file, model file, and this is what is also the model file. Okay. So if two persons are there, try to understand. Okay, basically what, when you are going to create any model and when you are going to save that model, so ETABS software what is actually doing, see, LP master 01. So with this name, there are so many files are going to be generated by ETABS software. So how many these files are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This much number of files where is going to be saved by your ETABS software in the base folder. But among all those files, three files are most important. What are those? Your $et file, .ebk file, that is your backup file, and .edb file. Where it is? Yeah, .edb file. Okay. So if two persons are there, person A and person B, A and B, A is using 2015 version, B is using what? 2015 version. Both of the persons are using same version. If A person has to send the file to the B person, model file to the B person for checking purpose or for validating purpose, whatever the reason is. So A person has to send the file to the B person as .edb file. Because they both are using the same version of the file, so अगर आपका edb file आप send कर देते हो, तो क्या करेगा? Your another person is going to open that file and it can start the work. No problem will be there. But if A person is using 2015 version, but the B person is using 2019 version, if A person is sending the .edb file, that will not work. Lower version file if you are going to open in the higher version, that will not work. अभी मैंने आपको बताया कि 15 वर्जन में आपका कलरिंग का ऑप्शन नहीं है, स्टोरी लेवल का कलर करना, ये ऑप्शन आपका 15 में नहीं है, एंड दैट इज अवेलेबल इन 19. तो ये तो कमांड का वेरिएशन हो गया. प्लस लेटेस्ट रिवीजन ऑफ अर्थक्वेक लोडिंग, दैट इज व्हाट? IS 1893, last revision of earthquake loading 2016. So your earthquake loading revision is 2016 and you are using 2015 version of ETABS software. Tell me, this code will be present in 2015 version of ETABS?
No.
15 में आपको क्या मिलेगा? 15 में आपको मिलेगा IS 1893 2002 code. The last revision of earthquake loading code is what? IS 1893 2002. So यहाँ पर अगर मैं मॉडलिंग करता हूँ, अर्थक्वेक लोडिंग लगाता हूँ, तो अर्थक्वेक लोडिंग मैं किसके अकॉर्डिंग लगाऊंगा? 2002 कोड के अकॉर्डिंग मैंने यहाँ पर लोडिंग लगाया हुआ है. अब अगर ये मॉडल को मैं इस वर्जन में ओपन करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, सो होगा पॉसिबल? पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, बिकॉज इट इज द 16 वर्जन. इफ आई एम गोइंग टू क्रिएट द मॉडल इन हायर वर्जन ऑफ ETABS सॉफ्टवेयर एंड असाइनमेंट ऑफ द लोड, सो यहाँ पर मैंने 16 के अकॉर्डिंग लोडिंग लगाया हुआ है और मॉडलिंग भी मैंने एडवांस ऑप्शन के साथ की हुई है. अगर वो मॉडल को मैं 15 वर्जन में ओपन करने जा रहा हूं, विल इट पॉसिबल?
नहीं, उसमें भी वेरिएशन देगा,
इसमें भी वेरिएशन. सो आप लोअर टू हायर जा रहे हो, हायर से लोअर जा रहे हो, सो प्रॉब्लम तो रहेगा आपको. सो एट दैट टाइम यू हैव टू शेयर द फाइल एज $ET file. When the change of the versions are there between the two person and you have to send your file to the other person, you have to send the file as what? $ET file you have to send to the second person. But with this file तो ठीक है, मॉडल फाइल अगर आप डायरेक्टली सेंड करेंगे वो तो ओपन नहीं होगा. फर्स्ट थिंग, सबसे पहले तो वो ओपन ही नहीं होगा. ठीक है, ये these all these secondary things. आपका सेटिंग चेंज हो रहा है, your coding or loading is going to be changed between the two version. That all are the secondary thing. Primary will be what? Your model is not going to be open if you are going to share the EDB file, model file. आपको send क्या करना पड़ेगा? $ET file. But आपको $ET file जब आप send करते हो, lower to higher या higher to lower, you have to open that file. The procedure is little bit different. I will let you know how to do that. So आप ठीक है ओपन करते हो, तो जैसे ही आप ओपन करेंगे, as soon as you are going to open your file from lower to higher or higher to lower, taking the $ET file, so suppose 19 version I am going to open in 15. So 2016 earthquake loading is there in 19 version file. I am trying to open in 2015. So software give you pop-up all the advanced loading and all the 19 version advancements that is not present in 2015. But if you are willing to open in 2015, all the advanced options result will be discarded in the opened file. Okay, so that is actually the difference of the change of the version. Most of the time students are asking about it. Now, okay, this is my ETABS 16 model. Okay, I am trying to open this model. Some high-rise structure or any structure is there. Let me check ETABS 2019. So master 01, this is the model of 2019. I am trying to open this model in 2016. So go to file, open existing model. No. Say control V. Sorry. Master 01. See, this is the model file. See what will happen. Higher version file I am trying to open in what? Model file. Okay. Select this, say open. what will happen? Error, decompressing file may not be valid, ETABS EDB. मैंने क्या कहा था आपको? वर्जन चेंज हो रहा है, अगर आप मॉडल फाइल भेजेंगे तो वो ओपन होगा नहीं. वेरी गुड. हैव यू सीन द एग्जांपल प्रूफ? अब अगर हायर वर्जन को आपको लोअर में ओपन करना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा?
वो सेकंड फाइल भी
$ET फाइल. सो अब ठीक है, हायर वर्जन में मैं क्या $ET फाइल को आपको कैसे आपको इंपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज नॉट सिमिलर टू दैट ऑफ योर ओपनिंग ऑफ मॉडल. गो टू फाइल, go to import. In this import, etabs.e2k file text file, click over that. Now it is considering what? $ET file.
Yes sir.
Select this. Now say open. मैंने क्या कहा था? हायर वर्जन का आप लोअर वर्जन पे ओपन कर रहे हो तो आपको क्या नोटिफिकेशन देगा? वर्जन ऑफ 19 फाइल is being imported in 16 version. Data for newer option may be ignored. Please check your model. Once the model is going to be open in this, you have to check your model. आपको मॉडल को चेक करना है. That is your responsibility. क्या चेंजेस होते हैं वो आपको सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं बताएगा, वो आपको वापस से चेक करके करेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. Okay? Say okay. Further, it will give you what changes are going to be happen. किसमें चेंजेस हो रहे हैं? देखिए, आज तो कोई लोडिंग हमारा 2016 है ना, और 16 में तो ठीक है, 16 में मिल जाएगा, बट कुछ चेंजेस होंगे जिसकी वजह से हम लोगों को शो कर रहा है. Okay, with all of this, accepting these all changes, now your model is open. Okay, so this is the first point we have covered or completed, the different of file format, their importance and application. Okay, very interesting. Setting off quick access bar. Come back to your ETABS, and in the first session I told you this is called as top main menu bar, and this is called as quick access bar. So this quick access bar, nothing but the sub options of this top main menu bar. But you might have the experience of using the CAD software. So in CAD software, we are having the shortcut keys, L enter, O enter, C enter for the circle line. Okay. A trim command is there, TR enter, and offset is there. So that is what the shortcuts. So in ETABS software, some shortcuts are there, but consultants are not using the shortcut in ETABS software and not needed to have that shortcut. Why? It is because we are having these shortcut keys here that we are calling it as quick access bar. But once you install the new ETABS software in your system, so there you will not able to find these things. There you will not able to find this thing, quick access bar. This quick access bar, if you want to perform the design, you will click here, design will start. If you are going to click here, analysis will start. If you want to assign the uniformly distributed load, you can click here, assignment you can do. Okay, anything you can do. This is what quick access bar. To save the model, to undo, to perform the analysis, to move the model 3D view, toggle view, set display option, and so many things are there. You have to set it. So how to set it? Go to option, go to customize toolbar. Once you go to this customize toolbar, so when you are going to install the ETABS software, you will have this kind of screen. So to make all that quick options on your screen, you need to go to option, go to customize toolbar, select option will be here, snap option will be here, assign joints, joint option will be there, assign frame, frame option, edit, editing option, edit option, view. I want to keep all in front of me. Say okay. अगर आपको किसी को positioning change करना है, so you can take it here, you can put it here, you can take it here, you can take it here, you can take it here. This is all you can do as per your requirement, as per your need. Second, removal or appearance of background grid and plan grids. Go back to ETABS, go to plan, come to any particular floor. So removal or appearance of a plan grid. This is your plan and this is your grid lines. So you know that if you want to off this grid, right click on your mouse, set grid system visibility, grids will be off, right click, set grid system, grids will be on. This is what shortcut way. Another is what? Go to view and here set grid system visibility off, go to view, set system grid visibility, it will be on. Okay, background grids. Background means what? In background, it is what? Plane. Go to set display option. Here, horizon. Check this horizon. So is it visible background? If you are check this, it will be off on. Okay, your choice. So this is the second point. How to see the dimension of any line or length between the 2 points. If suppose I want to see the distance between this point and this point, but there's no any dimension, how I can see that? So go to draw dimension line and close it. This is the first point. Freely move to this point. How much it is? I'm not going to click here. Just tracking the distance and coming to this point. How much it is?
2.9 meter.
2.9 meter.
From this point to this point, how much distance it is?
0.86 meter.
Okay, so that is what, if you want to check how much the distance between the 2 points. Okay, so how you can do that? Go to draw dimension line. Now close it. If you want to see, just to check, so click on this first point, freely move to this point. Don't click over the another point. Otherwise, it will be permanently drawn or will be fixed here. If I am going to click here and taking outside, and then I'm going to click here, so it is permanently giving the dimension or distance as 2.9. लेकिन आपको सिर्फ check करना है. If you want to check only, so go to draw dimension line, close it. First point, click over that. Freely move to the second point and don't need to do anything. Just take your cursor to that point. We are knowing that 2.9, left it, right click on your mouse. This is done. That is another one important thing it is needed to work when you are going to prepare your model and editing of your model, correcting of your model. At all these stages, you need to have this command in your knowledge. How to see dimension of any line or length between the 2 points. Appearance or removal of global axis. Come back to your ETABS. Take the 3D view. This is what global axis. Right click, grid system visibility. I don't want to have these grids. Right click. Now grid is off. Global axis, X, Y, and Z. This is called as what? Global axis. And if suppose you want to off this global axis, go to view and show axis. Once you click over this, it will be off. Go to view, show axis, it will be in view. If you are going to again click over this, show axis, it will be off. So that is the another thing. Now next, graphic background setting. Very interesting and very important. So go to option and go to graphic colors, go to display. And here what? I'm not interested to work with the white background. So I want to change the theme to black. But which color of your beam will be suited for your white graphics and white background? So for the column, blue will be there. So the software is taking the column as blue, beam as blue, shear wall as red. Okay. If suppose you want to change this red color of the shear wall to pink color, take this pink. Okay. Say okay. If suppose you want to change the color of your column, go to option, go to graphic color, go to display, column color as red. Say okay. Okay. So column color is your red. So like that, you have to check. But by default is what? Go to option, graphic color, go to display, set to reset default. Now it is the default setting, let it to be. Suppose if you want to change the color of your background setting as black. So go to black background, say okay. With black background, which color of the column, which color of beam will be more suitable, were suggested by your software. Okay. So let's say okay. With this black background, I want to change this shear wall color to as sky blue. Go to option, go to this, go to graphic display, shear wall color to this sky blue. Say okay, okay. See, okay. Go to option, go to graphic color, go to display. Again, suppose if you want to take the print out of this your model and your printer is black and white. So when you take your black and white print of this model, so column will come out to be black, beam will be come out to this black and this all. If you want to change the color, that you can do. If color printer, if you are going to use and if you are going to take the print out of your model, so your print out colors will be this. Okay, so this is all our graphic settings. Close it. Now, after this explanation about select, deselect, previous selection option. Okay, very interesting it is. Coming back, go to option, go to graphic, go to देयर आर सो मेनी ऑप्शन. ओके, टाइमली आई विल एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग. आगे आगे हम लोग जैसे बढ़ेंगे, हर एक का एप्लीकेशन जैसे आते जाएगा, वहां पर भी मैं डिटेल में उसको एक्सप्लेन करते चलूंगा. ग्राफिक मोड क्या है, और यहाँ पर आपका एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ग्राफिक प्रिफरेंसेस, इसका एप्लीकेशन क्या है. सो अभी इसका एप्लीकेशन नहीं है, सो यहाँ पर डिस्कस करना उतना ज्यादा इफेक्टिव नहीं होगा. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है. आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट ऑन लेटर स्टेज. अच्छा, ग्राफिक मोड ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. फर्स्ट चेंज द कलर टू दिस डिफॉल्ट, रीसेट टू डिफॉल्ट विद व्हाइट बैकग्राउंड से. ओके ओके, यहाँ पर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम स्टूडेंट क्या करते हैं, ग्राफिक मोड यहाँ पर उनका डायरेक्ट एक्स होता है. गो टू प्लान, कम टू एनी फ्लोर. अब क्या करते हैं वो, ये कहते हैं कि यहाँ पर हम लोगों का पॉइंट सिलेक्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं और मॉडल बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग दिख रहा है, ये इस तरीके से दिख रहा है. एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, आपको ऑप्शन में जाना है, ग्राफिक मोड को चेक करना है और इसको क्या करना है,
स्टैंडर्ड ग्राफिक्स.
तो ये आप पहले चेक कर लेना. किसी के साथ प्रॉब्लम आएगा, यू शुड करेक्ट इट. यू हैव टू वर्क ऑलवेज विद स्टैंडर्ड ग्राफिक्स. वंस यू क्लिक ओवर दिस, योर नॉर्मल व्यू विल बी देयर. कुछ भी अगर आपको मॉडलिंग में अभी स्टार्ट में जो बिगिनर्स हैं, कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, सो वहां पर एक मर्तबा अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो पहले आप इसको चेक कर लीजिएगा. लेट इट टू बी स्टैंडर्ड ग्राफिक्स ऑलवेज. देयर आफ्टर सी select, deselect and previous selection. Very, very important it is. Coming back now, suppose I want to select everything of my model. So what I need to do, with a long way, go to select, then go to all. Now everything of my model is selected. How many selections are there? What are present in my model? 990 joints are there. 669 frames are there. And your column is also frame, your beam is also frame. So both of them were considered as frame. So total frame is how much? 969. 306 shells are there. Shells will include your slab as well as shear wall. दोनों को मिलाकर आपका 306 shells हैं. 1266 edges are there. What does mean by these edges? So अगर आप slab देखेंगे, तो slab के 4 edges होंगे. shear wall को देखेंगे तो shear wall के भी 4 edges हो जाएंगे. Okay, like that every shell element will have minimum of 4 edges. हाँ, random shape होगा. Suppose you are going to model the slab like this. So ये edge हो जाएगा, ये edge हो जाएगा, ये edge हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. This is another one, this is another one, this is another one. Are you getting my point? So normal geometry है, standard geometry है, rectangular, square. So it is having what? How many edges? 4 edges. So likewise, 1266 edges are there of your model. So that is what consideration. तो अगर आपको पूरे मॉडल को सिलेक्ट करना है एक ही टाइम में, so very simple approach is there. This is a long way. After the selection, if you want to deselect all the selected things, so go to select, go to clear selection. Whatever the things is in selection, you can clear that. Now यहां से देखिए, one more option, all. So now all the things is selected. If you are going to click over this clear, all the things is going to be clear. Now go to plan, come to this first floor. Suppose I have to select this beam, I have to select this beam, I have to select this beam, I have to select this beam. I have to assign the loading to all this beam under the dead load pattern as 2 kilonewton, just for example, 2 kilonewton per running meter, under the live load pattern as 5 kilonewton per running meter. I'm trying to explain the application of previous selection. यहाँ पर एक ऑप्शन मिलेगा आपको previous selection, या फिर आप यहाँ पर select में जाएंगे तो यहाँ पर भी आपको मिलेगा get previous selection. What it means and what its application. So to select the different individual beam, it takes time. ये आपका थोड़ा टाइम लेगा. तो ये इतने beams, how many frames? 10 frames. ठीक है, ये फ्रेम्स को मैंने आर्किटेक्चर प्लान को देखकर एक मर्तबा टाइम स्पेंड करके मैंने सिलेक्शन किया. नाउ आई हैव टू असाइन 2 kilonewton to all these selected beam, then I have to assign live load 5 kilonewton to all these selected beam. तो क्या करूंगा, go to assign, go to frame, go to distributed. तो यहां पर मैंने अंडर डेड लोड 2 kilonewton तो मैंने अप्लाई कर दिया. से अप्लाई, once you click over this apply, assignment has been done. but selection will be off. लेकिन वही सारे beams को for the same beam I have to apply the load of what?
Live load 5 kilonewton per meter.
Then I need to again to select all those beam or not?
Yes.
So it is the wasting of time or not? Yes. So the solution is there what? Just go to select, go to get previous selection. So आपने जो last selection किया था वो वापस से select हो जाएगा. Get previous selection. Okay, that is the application of this previous selection. So okay, मैं clear कर देता हूँ. Just go to clear. सारी चीजें clear हो गई. फिर से मैं करना चाहता हूँ. Just click over this previous selection, last selection. Okay, this clear. Now at this time I am going to select the floor slab. Now go to clear. अब previous selection करूंगा तो क्या होगा? 10 frames select होंगे या फिर slab select होगा? Tell me.
Slab select होगा.
Because your last selection was what?
Slab.
After that, like suppose I want to select one beam. So you need to go to that beam particularly and you need to click over that beam. So the selection will be there. But my intention is what? I want to select only the beams of my entire model. How I can select that? Okay, some of you may think that we should go with all. So with all, what will happen? There is a selection for beam, slab, shear wall, all the things are there. So that is not my intention. My intention is what? I want to select all the beams of my model. You need to go to select. Go to select. Once you go to select, different categories are there. Through that categories, you can make the selection. So object type, or you can say element type, you can say. So object type or element type means so columns are, beam is one type of element, one type of object. Column is one type of element or one type of object. Shear wall is another object element. Slab is another object element. Spindle is another object and element. Your joint is also another object or element. So go to object type. In object type, see joint, column, beams, braces, null lines, walls, floors, null areas and all. So I want to select the beams, select this beam and say select. So now all the beams of my model is in selection 733 it is. That is the way. Now tell me, just close it, just clear this. Suppose I want to select all the columns of my model. So go to select, go to object type and select all the columns. Say select. Now all the columns is in selection. 236 are there. So only the columns are in selection. Now I want to select only the shear walls of my entire model. So go to select, go to object type. And here the walls will be, select this wall, say select, okay, 50 shells, 200 edges are there. So that is the way how you can make the selection of beams by the consideration of object type. Okay, so that is the case. Now I want to select beams, all the beams of third floor only. First go to select, go to object type. There are so many different ways. इसको पता होगा सॉफ्टवेयर और भी दूसरे भी वे है, but one of the way is make these beams as select. Now with this option, all the beams are in selection. Okay, let it to be. Then go to select, go to deselect. In deselect option, the option is what? Stories. Go to stories. Now all the story about the third floor, ये सारा मैंने select किया. Press the control, this second to base, ये सारे levels पर, from these all levels, whatever the things are in selection, or tell me what selections are there? Only the beams. So whatever the selections are there to all these floors, I want to deselect all those selections. Say deselect. Now only the remaining thing is what? Selection of beams at the third floor. Go to plan, come to the third floor. So ये आपके third floor पर सिर्फ frames और सिर्फ beams selected है. Okay, suppose I want to make the selection of 6th floor slab only. Who will guide me?
Select.
Okay. Then floor. Say select. So that is our intention.
Yes, sir.
This is our intention. What I told you. I want to make the selection of 6th floor only. Yes. Then
Go to select.
deselect, then
Stories.
then
Then select all and select only 6th one.
from base to up to fifth and from 7 to up to top.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Say deselect. So all that selection is now removed. Only 6 floor slabs are in selection. Now, if suppose you, one more thing I'm going to add here. If you want to keep only the selected thing in your view, so right click on your mouse and click here at show selected objects only. So जो चीजें आपके selection में है, that things will be in selection only. Show selected object. Again, right click, show all object of your model. All things will be in view. Suppose I want to select only the first floor. So go to first floor. First floor means सारी चीजें, everything of this first floor, column, beam, shear wall, slab, everything. So two ways are there. Drag it from left to right. So this particular floor will be selected. Okay. Right click, show selected object only. Take the 3D view, only this floor. Another way, show all object. Go to select, go to story. I want to select only the first floor. Select this, say select. Only the first floor is in selection. Right click on your mouse, show selected object only. First floor elements are in selection. Go to plan, come to any particular floor. Show all object. Yeah. Okay, let me check first. Go to draw, go to define, go to section property, frame section. Okay, how many types of beams are available here?
3 types.
150 600 depth, 230 600 depth. Now, in my model, I want to select 230 by 600 size of the beam. Will it possible to catch it? Select, okay.
Select again, then
Select.
Properties.
Very good properties, very good. Then
Frame section.
very good frame section, okay.
And then
150 by 6, very good. 150 by 600, let's say select. So how many beams are there of 150 by 600? 74. If suppose I want to select the staircase slabs, so how I can do that? From my model, go to select, go to property, slab section. जितने भी staircase 200 depth slab हैं, सारे को select करना है. Select. Now कितने हैं? Sorry, यहाँ पर अभी मॉडल नहीं है वो. हेलो, नो 125 कितने हैं?
256.
256. So like this kind of selection, deselection you can do for your model. Is there another thing? Okay, go to plan, come to this. Actually, if you want to see the label of the element, label means marking B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, shear wall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the labeling. And this is given by your software. Now, suppose, okay, I will cover this point later in detail, but see, label of the element, say apply. Now, this is what the label. Now, after checking of model, we are getting the error with beam number 71. Will you able to find that? Where that beam? Or if I am telling, just give the selection of beam number 49. Tell me in just of 10 seconds, where that beam number 49? It is difficult or not? Tell me. Then what? How you can catch that particular beam? So go to select. Suppose beam number 74 you have to catch. So where that beam is present? Actually that beam is present here. यहाँ पर आपका beam present है. Is it visible? But it is not possible to find it. Okay. So go to select. Go to selector. Go to label. And label for what? Frame. Frame label. Go to frame. And beam number what? 74. Select this 74. Make this selection of this beam selector. Now close it. Right click. Show selected object only. So that beam you can find. Suppose यहाँ पर आपको कुछ error है, फिर आप उसको error को correct कर सकते हो. Is that all okay? The application of the label selection. Go to select. Go to select. Go to label. Okay. Group is little bit different. Actually, I will explain on later stage the selection or making the group or taking the elements in group. It is a different thing. Then stories we have seen that. All we have seen that. One thing is remaining. Inward selection. Inward selection means what? Try to understand. Go to plan at any floor. Right click, show all object. Okay. Inward selection. Take the 3D view. go to selector, go to object type, shear walls, go to wall select. Right now, what things are in selection? Shear wall only. Now, inward selection means what? Whatever the things is in selection, if you are going to use inward selection, that selected thing will be deselected and all the remaining things of your model will be in selection. Go to selector and click over inward selection. So यहाँ पर shear wall selection में shear wall will be deselected, all remaining things will be selected. Go to inward selection. Okay, so right click show selected object. So आपका सब कुछ रहेगा, shear wall आपके selection में नहीं था, so that will not be in view. So that is what the application of inward selection. This point is now completed. Can I conclude this point? So this is all about today. Up to 7th point, we have covered everything. The next point is what? Explanation about the commands of editing or correcting of existing model. Just come to your ETABS software and open any model. Now take the 3D view of this model. Okay, suppose I need to open any model. Okay, now editing command. If suppose any beam is there like this, close it, take the beam, go to plan, come to any particular floor, let's say apply. Now this is the line. Okay, and another line should be in the continuity of this line. Okay, the alignment should be correct. The alignment should be what? Exactly correct. That should be exactly along the same line. But due to some reason, if I miss to satisfy the correct alignment of the line, it is not the right modeling. What? It is cross. There is some angle. Actually, it should be linear, but it is what? Inclined by some angle. Okay. Now, so we need to correct the alignment. One beam is there like this. Another beam is there like this. Another beam is there like this. Okay. So it is what? Correct the alignment. But sometimes what we are doing the mistake, suppose the beam is coming like this, another beam, like we are modeling like this. Actually, this point, this end point should be in the same line. Actually, we are looking at this kind of problem on a large scale. But if you are going to look at in your actual model, in your actual problem, so it will be very minor. Difference will be there in the correct alignment of your points. Okay, so ETABS software will catch that as error. So if you want to correct this error, what you need to do, that you will see. Okay, another thing, suppose one line is perfectly vertical, another line is again perfectly vertical, another line is again perfectly vertical. But again, if suppose I'm taking the another line like this, so it is not the perfect vertical. The alignment is not correct. It is not perfectly along the y direction. So this point ordinate is different. This point ordinate is different. So if suppose you want to correct this kind of modeling error, so what step you need to take, that I would like to share. Now close it and clear this all and select this all and make it to be, delete these all things. Take the frame, close it. This is the one line, then another line, correct alignment. Now here I'm going to take the line here like this. Okay. Now our intention to keep this beam perfectly horizontal. So how to do that? So for that, what we need to do, we need to decide that which point is correct. So this first point is correct. This second point is not at the same alignment. So what I need to do, I need to correct this alignment. So for that, I need to see the ordinate. So tell me, it is about x-axis, this point P1 and this point P2 is the alignment is different about x-axis or about y-axis. What about it is differentiating about y-axis? The alignment of both the points are different. In x direction, that is not the concern. Actually, the concern is about the y-axis. So try to understand. Just go to this and take your cursor to this point. Now I want to see what is the ordinate of this point. This is the global axis. If I'm taking my cursor here, so it is what x and y is 0, 0. From where you will get this? So you can find this ordinate from here. Okay. Now just come here and take your cursor to this. So it is 0, 0. About this global axis or global ordinate, the reference of this ordinate, this is what, obviously x is on left hand side, so minus sign will be there, and it is above. Okay, so that y will be positive. I am taking my cursor to this joint or point. Just tell me what is the ordinate of this point. Minus 17.8 and 12.5. Come to this point. This ordinate is what?
minus 6.4156. Y 13.0966.
Okay, so we have to correct the alignment about x, about y axis. So its y axis alignment is what? 12.5. So I need to select this frame and this joint. Go to editor, go to align joint and frame, check this option, and I want to align this frame about the y axis, and it is actually what? Y is 13.0966. Just see here. You have to look at here. So it is what? 13.0966, and this is what? 12.5. So it should be what? 12.5. I'm going to keep it as what? 12.5, and let's just simply apply. Is it now corrected? Okay, that is the case. Another situation I'm going to take here. One beam is like this. Take the beam, close it. One beam here, then another beam here, then another beam here, then another beam here. Okay, these all beams are there. Okay, I want to keep all these beams in the same alignment about y-axis. So I need to decide one point that should be correct. So suppose this point is what? What ordinate of this? Y minus 4.5. So need to select all the beams along with all the joints and just go to this minus 4.5 and say apply. So it will be corrected about the y-axis. So that is the case you need to remember. After that, select these all. Now in the second situation where the beam is like this, just tell me, we need to correct the alignment about what? About x-axis. Okay, so here these beams are not correctly aligned about the x-axis. In this direction there is a x-axis. So about x-axis this alignment is not correct. That's why you may get the errors in your model. So any point you have to decide that should be correct. So suppose this point is correct point. So what is the ordinate of x? Minus 29.5. About x-axis minus 29.5. Let's just simply apply. Now it is corrected. So that is the way how to correct your alignment of the beams. Got it? So this is the first thing. Another thing, align joints about the z-axis. About z-axis you can also align, or the height also you can align. Now second is trim frame object. Very interesting it is. Suppose I am taking the beam here like this, close it, from this point to this point. Now from this point to this point. Now from here to here, this point. Another beam like this here. Okay, then one another beam here like this. Okay, now suppose I need to correct this model. My intention was to take this beam up to this frame only. Okay, actually this beam should be what? From here to this beam should be from here to only up to this point, but this extension is unnecessarily is there. So I want to delete that, I want to cut that, I want to trim that. How you can do that? Try to understand. You have to first select the frame that you want to trim, that you want to cut. Then you have to select the joint about which you want to trim it, and up to what line you want to cut this beam, that also you need to select and just go to trim option, and let's just simply apply. Once more, select the frame that you want to trim, that you want to cut. Then software will be confused because this frame is having two ends, this end and this end. About which end you want to trim it, up to what frame level you want to trim it, the software is not knowing. So after only making of selection of frame, if I am trying to trim, let's just simply apply. So what we are getting? No object were found to align. That is wrong. So select the frame that you want to cut. Also select the joint about which you want to cut, and the frame up to which you want to cut it, the frame reference line. So reference lines you have to check and let's just simply apply so that we cut down. Select this up to this frame, about this joint. I want to cut this beam, this extra portion up to this frame, about this joint. Let's just simply apply. I want to cut this frame about this joint up to this frame. Let's say apply. I want to cut this frame up to this frame about this joint. Let's just simply apply. I want to cut this frame about this joint up to this frame. Apply. I want to cut this frame about this joint up to this frame. Let's say apply. And I want to cut this frame up to this frame about this joint. Let's say apply. That is very simple. Which beam you want to trim out, about which joint, about which point you want to trim out, and up to what frame level you want to trim it, that you need to define. Okay, thereafter extend option is there, that is similar to that one. Like suppose you are going to model the structure and by mistake you are taking one frame here and you are taking another frame here. Okay, so means on a small scale you will not able to find that there is no proper connection, but when you zoom it, so you will get there is an error, there is no connectivity between this frame and this frame. There is no connectivity between this B1 and this B2. Both beams are not properly connected. On a small scale you will not able to find it correctly, but when you are going to look at this problem on a large scale, so you can identify that this B1 is not properly connected with your B2. In that situation, what you need to do, you need to extend this frame up to this frame. And how to do that? Let me close it and take the beam. This is the one beam and this is the another beam. Okay, now this beam should be connected to this beam. So how to do that? You need to select the beam that you want to extend, and you need to also define the joint about which you want to extend and the frame up to which you want to extend. That also you need to select. Then go to edit, then go to align joint frame object. Just go to that and extend frame object. Just go to this and let's just simply apply to this. So now it is extended up to the required frame. Okay, so that is the case. Now suppose I want to extend this frame up to this frame about this joint. Go to edit, go to align joint and frame object, extend and frame object. Let's say apply. This is done. So select this all and let's say simply delete. So all this will be deleted. Just come back. Now next is what? Move joint, frame and shell. Suppose if you want to move the frame, if you want to shift the frame from one position to another position, so how you can do that? So suppose one beam is present here. Okay, another beam is present here. I want to shift this frame from here to here, from this end to this end. How I can do that? So for that I need to know what is this distance. There are so many options are there to know the distance from this point to this point. Let's consider this is the I and this is your J. So to know the distance between I to J, how I can see that? Okay, how we will come to know what is the distance between these two? So very first way is go to draw dimension line and now close it from this point to this point. It is what? 6.9 meter. Another way, this is the X. What is the ordinate of this X? Minus 20.9. Write it here, minus 20.9. Okay. Next, if you are taking your cursor here, how much it is? Minus 14. Just write here as minus 14. Okay, 0.0. So take the difference of these two. What you will get? 6.9. That exactly you are getting. So that is the way how you will come to know what is the distance between these 2 points. So I want to shift this frame, this vertical frame, over the x-axis by the distance of 6.9 in positive x direction. So you need to select the frame, you need to go to editor, and next to the alignment there is the option of move joint. You can shift to your joint, you can shift to your frame, means beam and column, you can shift to your shell, means your shear wall and slab. click over this, and with all of this, just put here as what? In X direction, 6.9. Let's say simply apply. So now it is shifted from this position to this position. Okay. Now go to clear this. Another way, very interesting. If you are not willing to know how much the distance is there, by what distance you have to shift it, then another option is there, shifting by clicking over the point. Okay, select the frame that you want to shift. Then after that you need to say pick 2 points on model from where you want to pick up it and the point at which you want to shift it. So go to click pick 2 points on model to pick up it and to left it. Click over this. There is the point from where we want to pick up. Click over that, and here we want to take the beam. So click over that. After that, you need to come back to this and let's say simply apply. Second one is the easiest one. Okay, suppose this frame I want to take from here to here on the downside. So it's very simple. Pick 2 points. After selecting the frame, remember this is the first, then this is the second point. Let's say apply. This is done. So that is the case how you can shift the beam from one point to another point, or you can shift the shear wall or slab from one point to another point. So you can shift the frame element, shell element, all kinds of element. Suppose there is a presence of slab. Now suppose slab is present here. I want to take this slab from this position to this top point. I want to shift this slab from here to here. Means this I, J, K, L. So this I point I want to have at this, then J, then K, and this L. I want to have this kind of shifting. Okay. So for that, what you need to do? Very simple. First, you need to select the slab. After selecting of the slab, pick 2 points on model. Click over that. From this point to this point, I want to shift it, and let's just simply apply. Very simple it is. Okay. You need to remember. If suppose you want to shift it from here to here, I want to shift this point from here to here. How I can do that? You need to select the floor slab. After that, go to pick 2 points. This point I want to keep here. Then click over that. Let's just simply apply. Now it is shifted. Okay, so that is the case how you can shift your frame, your shell element. This will help you for editing of your existing model. I will take it later. One model we will take, there will be so many errors, so many modeling errors. We will try to make that model free from error. Now close it. Coming back to this importance of one story, all story, and similar story. What does mean by one story, similar story, and all story? Very important command that will help you for modeling, for fast modeling, for time saving. But at the same time, if you are not going to take care about whether which option you are working, so there will be the chances of mistakes also. So for the beginners, it is the problem. Those who are using this ETABS software, or they are going to use this ETABS software first time, for them, it takes some time to understand. But if once you get familiar with this command, this will help you to do the modeling in fast, to do the modeling in very short period of time. So it's very important option, one story, all story, and similar story. How it will help you? Just come to your model and yeah, select this all, delete this all, take the 3D view. That option is present here. One story, all story, and similar story. Suppose I want to make the selection of, in the last session we have seen that the selection command, how you can make the selection by different ways. But here the situation is what? I want to make the selection of this particular floor slab at all the floors. If your model is typical, if your plan is typical, what does mean by typical? If the arrangement of architectural plan is similar at all the floors, it means what? Suppose a building is there, or architecture plan is suppose like this. Whatever, suppose your bedroom or hall, this is your kitchen, this is your WC bath, and here what? Suppose this is your hall, just for example, this is your hall, this is your bedroom, this is your another bedroom, just for example. This is the first floor. When you come to this level, this is your second floor. The same thing is there, kitchen, WC bath. Here the hall is there, and here two bedrooms are there. When you come to the upper floor, here what the things are there? Like suppose they are going to be changed. This architecture plan is going to be changed. These two bedrooms will be there. This is the bedroom. This is the bedroom, and here some changes are going to be happen. So this first floor, second floor are same. That's we are going to say it as what typical floor. And here the architecture plan is going to be changed. So we are going to call it as what? It is not the typical floor as that of your first and second. If the architectural arrangement at the different floor is same, then we can call it as typical floors. First, second, and third are exactly same. The position of bedroom and hall, kitchen, everything is same. At the first, second, and third, so I'm going to say these three floors are typical. When you go to fourth floor, suppose there is some part terrace is there, so it is going to become different in comparison of the lower three floors. So that will be different. So if architectural plan is same, so there is a possibility that the structural framing plan will be same. आपका structural framing plan, beam, column positioning will also be same. तो अगर इस टाइप का प्रॉब्लम है जहां पर आपके मल्टीपल फ्लोर्स इज हैविंग दी सेम स्ट्रक्चरल फ्रेमिंग प्लान, तो उस केस में क्या है, we can take the advantage of all story, we can take the advantage of similar story, okay? But if everything is different, then you have to work with the one story. So one by one we are trying to understand. First we will understand about the selection. So I want to select all the slabs of model for this position. So you know that in the previous case, we have seen that we need to go to selector, then we need to select the floor slab, then we need to go to deselect and all. So many steps are there. So option is what? If you are taking all story and if you are going to click over these. So see, all the models is going to be selected. For that particular position, right click and show selected object. Okay. For that selected position, all the slabs are going to be selected. For that position in the slab, all the slab is going to be selected. Okay, take another example. Go to file, go to new model. We will try to understand this in another way. Thirty floors. Now, add one more window. This is the 3D view, this is the plan view. How this will help you for the modeling. Now, suppose I have to draw the column at 30th floor. So go to column, concrete column, close it. Sorry, concrete beam it is. Column, close it. With one story option, see the option is checked as one story. Drag it from left to right. Go to this and excluded view. Then column, close it, drag it from left to right and see. The column is going to be modeled only at what? One story. That is what? 30th floor. Remember, whenever you are going to model the column in ETABS software, so what will happen? Suppose you are going to model your column at the 30th floor, that is going to be projected up to the lower floor. Okay, if you are going to model the column here, that is not going to be projected up to the 30th floor. That is going to be projected to the lower floor. That is what? 28th floor. If you are going to model any column here, that is going to be projected at the lower 27th floor. So like here, the one thing, modeling has been done only for the 30th floor. Now go to plan and come to 20th floor, say apply. Now I am at the 20th floor. Now I have to model this column at this 20th floor. So drag it from left to right. Now the modeling has been done only at this 20th floor. Only at this 20th floor. Why it is? Because one story option is checked. But my intention is to, or my need is to model this same size of the column with same orientation of the column for the same position. Okay. at all the floors. So doing this thing, going to each particular floor, then going to do the modeling like this, then coming to the next floor, then doing the modeling like this, then coming to the next floor, then doing the modeling like this, then coming to the next floor, then doing the modeling like this. At each individual floor, you need to go and then you need to go to model the column. So will it be effective? इसमें टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा आपको. सॉफ्टवेयर इज गिवन द ऑप्शन एज ऑल स्टोरी, लेकिन ये ऑल स्टोरी ऑप्शन कब आपका वर्क करेगा? जब आपको सारे फ्लोर पर सेम ऑपरेशन चाहिए, सेम एक्शन चाहिए, सेम रिजल्ट चाहिए. इन दैट सिचुएशन दिस ऑल स्टोरी विल वर्क. जैसे कि कॉलम का पोजीशन हम लोगों का एक मर्तबा आप ग्राउंड लेवल पर फिक्स कर देते हो या फाउंडेशन लेवल पर और प्लिंथ लेवल पर, सो पोजीशन विल बी सेम थ्रू आउट द हाइट ऑफ योर स्ट्रक्चर. आगे हम लोग डिटेल में रियल प्रोजेक्ट में इसके बारे में हम लोग डिटेल में बात करेंगे. सो बट यहाँ पर रिक्वायरमेंट है तो हम लोग अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं कि अगर आप स्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर कॉलम की पोजीशन डिसाइड करने जाते हो, सो दैट पोजीशन विल बी फिक्स्ड फ्रॉम बेस टू टॉप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर. ऐसा नहीं होगा आपका ये कॉलम ये फ्लोर पर तो यहाँ है, ऊपर के फ्लोर पर जाने पर दैट कॉलम इज गोइंग टू बी शिफ्टेड टू दिस पोजीशन. एक्चुअली इट विल आल्सो बी पॉसिबल, दैट आर द एक्सेप्शनल केसेस. वो केस को अभी डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा हूं, बट फॉर नॉर्मल सिचुएशन आपका कॉलम एक मर्तबा पोजीशन हो गया, सो दैट पोजीशन विल बी फिक्स्ड फ्रॉम बेस टू टॉप एक्सेप्ट ऑफ एक्सेप्शनल केसेस. आपका कॉलम का पोजीशन फिक्स हो जाता है, उसके बाद आपका कॉलम का ओरिएंटेशन भी फिक्स हो जाता है. योर कॉलम ओरिएंटेशन विल आल्सो नॉट चेंजिंग. आप कंसिडर करेंगे लाइक सपोज आई विल टेक माय कॉलम एट द फर्स्ट फ्लोर लाइक दिस and at the second floor I will take my column like this. Will it be possible? So column position will be fixed, column orientation will be fixed, and column sizes, for an instant I am going to say the column size will also be same. Actually same नहीं होता, उसमें changes होते हैं, वो आगे हम लोग देखेंगे. But for an instant we are going to say that column sizes will also not change. So I have an option to model with the ऑल स्टोरी ऑप्शन. अब हर फ्लोर पर जाकर मुझे मॉडलिंग करना दैट इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी बिकॉज 30 फ्लोर्स आर देयर. एट ईच इंडिविजुअल फ्लोर यू नीड टू गो एंड देन यू नीड टू मॉडल द कॉलम. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, ऑल स्टोरी ऑप्शन लूंगा एंड देन गो टू कॉलम, क्लोज इट, ड्रैग इट फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट एंड मेक द सिलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल द कॉलम इन वंस. नाउ सपोज आई हैव टू मॉडल the beams from base to top and the position is same, section sizes is same, everything is same. So like how I can do, so all story option is checked there. Just go to this quick draw beam option, select the beam, concrete beam, close it. Now go back to your ETABS and just look at the 3D view. I am going to drag it from left to right. Now the beam is going to be modeled from base to top. Now suppose you want to model the slab, go to this slab option, quick draw slab option, close it, all story option is there, drag it from left to right. Now slab has been modeled. Okay, so that is the way and that is the power of working with the all story option. So if you want to execute for one story, so that is going to be executed for one story. But if you want to do the modeling for all story, so you need to go to work with all story. Okay. And yesterday we have seen that the selection for doing the selection for the multiple floors. But right now, suppose I want to make the selection of this particular slab at all the floors. How I can do that? So one story option is there. See, I am going to click here. How many selections are there? One shell is in selection. Now I am going to change it to what? All story. Now I am going to click over this again. Then see how many selections are there?
31 shells.
Now from base to top, all the selection has been for this particular position. All the slabs is now in selection. Suppose I want to select all the beams for this position, this beam at all the floors. See in the 3D view you can see the selection is what? Here there is a selection. Got it? So at all the floors, I want to select this particular column at all the floors. Drag it from left to right, all the column from base. Now in the 3D view also, right click, show selected object only. See, here the column is in selection. and all the slabs from top to bottom, base to top, all the slabs is in selection, all the beams are in selection. Okay, so that is the use of your all story, your one story option. Now next we have to see the application of similar story. What is the application of this similar story? We have learned about one story. If you want to execute the thing at a particular story where you are working, so you need to go with what? One story option. If you want to make the selection or execute the thing at all the stories, at all the floors, from base to top, you need to go with the all story option. Now, what is the application of these similar stories? We have seen that similar story or typical story concept. If suppose 20 floor building is there from first to 20, and from this first to 20, third floor, sixth floor, and this 15th floor are typical floors. The beam position, column position, slab position, they all are what? Same. Now I need to do the assignment of the wall loading. I need to do the assignment of area loading. I need to do the modeling. So as I told you, that everything is same for this third floor, sixth floor, and fifth floor. Third, sixth, and fifth, everything is same. So why I'm going to spend my time for modeling this third floor individual? Suppose taking off modeling time for this third floor only, suppose 5 minutes. Now again I'm going to spend this 5 minutes for this 6. I'm going to spend my another 5 minutes to this 15th floor for the modeling only. Now for the assignment of the loading, again I need to put 5 minutes for this particular floor, for this particular floor, for this particular floor. So extra how much I need to spend my time? Unnecessarily there is a wasting of time. So to solve that problem, the software has given the option of similar story. Just tell me, all story is not similar to your similar story. ठीक है? आप कहेंगे कि क्या डिफरेंस है इसमें से और स्टोरी में सिमिलर स्टोरी में? यहाँ पर देखिए रैंडम फ्लोर्स जो है वो आपके सिमिलर हो रहे हैं. रैंडम 3, 6 and 15. These 3 floors amongst these means in the range of from 1 to 20. Only these 3 floors are exactly similar. Rest of all other are different. If I'm working with all story option, that will be okay. That will not okay. अगर मैं एक फ्लोर पर suppose if I'm going to delete, my intention suppose 1, 2, then 3 is different. 1, 2 is same. 3 is different. 5 is different. 6 is similar to your 3. Then 6 to 15. In between all the numbers are different. So only these 3 are same. So suppose my intention to select this slab only at this third floor, sixth floor, and 15th floor. How I can do that? Very difficult for me. So what I need to do? I need to go to plan. I need to come to the third floor. Say apply, close it, select this slab. Yeah, sorry, all story option is there. One story should be. Select this slab. How many selections are there? One shell is in selection. Now I need to come to your sixth floor. Say apply. Now select this slab. 2 shells are in selection. Then again need to come to the 15th floor. Say apply. I need to make the selection at this particular floor. Now total how much it is going to become? 3 shells are now it is in selection. So like suppose 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 number of floors are similar only. So 9 times I need to do the same step to move for each individual floor and then making the selection. So that is very time consuming job. So option has given by the software is what? Similar story option. What does mean by this similar story option? So to use this option, we need to walk over the some setting. So go to editor, go to edit story and grid system, just click over this. With this option, what I need to do, up to now, we have seen that how to edit in plan definition. Now at this time, we are going to edit the over height definition. Okay, so go to modify. Now, here we know that what is the meaning of this story. The story is means what? This is nothing but the label. It is the height of each individual floor. Then this what? Cumulative height, total height. From base to this story 1, is 3 meter. This story 2 is at a height of 3 meter above to story first. But total height is going to become what? 6. This 3 addition you will get as 9. This 4 3 is going to become 12. This 5 3 is going to become 15. So it is what? Cumulative height. Total elevation of your structure in reference of your base. Okay, this is the first thing. Now master story. So your similar stories depends on this option. So your 3 and our 3 floors are similar. 3, 6 and 15. So amongst this 15, 6 and 3, we have to make any one of these as master story. So I'm going to make this third story as what? Whether it is master or not. Third. Right now it is what?
Not master now. We
Not
can make it
master.
master.
I want to make it as what? Master. Now it is going to become as master. Now this 6 and 15, they are similar to master. Just go to this 6 and this you have to make similar to what? Third.
3.
Now come to this 15th floor. It is similar to what? 3. Now your third floor is master and your 6th and 15th are similar to your master. It means that now whatever you are going to do at this third floor, that is going to be executed at this 6th and 15th floor. आप जो भी आप थर्ड फ्लोर पर करेंगे वो एग्जीक्यूट कहां पर होगा? थर्ड पर भी होगा, 6th पर भी होगा, 15th पर भी होगा. इज दैट ऑल ओके? 15th पर मैं जाकर कुछ करूंगा तो क्या होगा? Only 15th पर होगा, right? No, it is wrong. See, it is not the meaning that if you are going to make from a group one as master, so only every time you need to come at the master, you have to perform the thing. It is not the case. If you are working on this similar story, so that will also be right. It is going to execute at all the similar stories if you are working with similar story option. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हर बार आपको मास्टर स्टोरी पर ही आके काम करना है. आप अगर 6 पर भी करें तो भी वो 3rd और 15 पर होगा. आप अगर 15 पर करेंगे तब भी आपका 3rd and 6 पर होगा. So it is always not necessary to come at the 3rd and then do the thing. No, it is not the case. Any of this similar to or master at any floor, if you want to do the work, you can do. That is going to be executed at all the floors that is in a group. But the thing is what? Your similar story option should be what?
Similar story option click होना चाहिए वहां से.
Yes, ये होना चाहिए बस, बाकी कुछ नहीं. 6 जो है वो similar to आपका 3rd है. I forgot to save. That's why I need to do it again. 3rd. Now say okay. Say okay. Now say okay. Done. Now I am going to work with the similar story option. अभी देखिए, go to plan. Now अगर मैं 3rd floor पर एक slab select करता हूं तो कितने slab select होना चाहिए?
3.
Okay. So see, I am going to click over this 3rd floor. How many selections are there?
3 shells.
Why it is? Because we are working with similar story, and in this similar story group, 3 floors are there. 3rd, 6th and your 15. तो जो भी आप करेंगे वो आपका 3rd and 15 पर सिलेक्शन होगा. I am going to select this beam. So 3 frames will be selected at this floor, at the 6th floor, at the 15th floor. अच्छा, ठीक है. मैं क्या करता हूँ? I am going to select this slab at this 4th story. Select this slab. Tell me similar story. Sorry. Go to edit. Go to story. Somebody modify. This 30th floor is a master. Make it as none. Now say okay. Okay. देखिए. Now I am going to work with similar story option. And I'm going to select the slab at this 4th story. Select this slab. What will happen? Once it is in selection. Actually, there is no any pair. There is no similarity. There is no grouping that we did in the last case. Okay. So that's why you have to check it. In this way, you have to use these one story, all story and similar story option. It will help you a lot for doing the modeling in a very fast way. Your modeling will become very easy if you are effectively going to work with this one story, all story and similar story option. Okay. So we'll practice with this in detail in upcoming sessions. Okay. So, but here you need to remember that whenever you are going to work with this option, one story, similar story, and all story, and if you are going to change it continuously, so you need to take care. No doubt it will help you in your work. But at the same time, if you are not taking the care about the selection or with which option you are working, it may become a reason of error in your model, mistake in your model. Why it is? Because most of the time what we are doing, suppose we have to assign the support at the base level, but मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया, क्या किया मैंने, ऑल स्टोरी पर ऑप्शन के साथ मैं वर्क कर रहा था, आई एम वर्किंग द लास्ट सिचुएशन, आई एम वर्किंग विद ऑल स्टोरी, बट मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया सपोर्ट मुझको असाइन करना है बेस लेवल पर, मैं ड्रैग करता हूँ लेफ्ट टू राइट, ओके, सारे जॉइंट्स मैंने सिलेक्ट किया, प्लस मैंने यहां पर भी ध्यान नहीं दिया, I'm not taking the care about what selections are there. I'm not going to ensure whether the selection is as per my expectation or not. बताइए यहाँ पर 496 जॉइंट है क्या, यहाँ पर कितने हैं?
496 जॉइंट्स, 8
16
जॉइंट्स
joints है. How many joints are there? 16. ठीक है, तो मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ पर भी ध्यान नहीं दिया कौन सा स्टोरी सिलेक्टेड है ऑप्शन, और मैंने लेफ्ट साइड पे भी ध्यान नहीं दिया. इसीलिए मैंने आपको पहले ही कहा है, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू प्रैक्टिस विद ETABS सॉफ्टवेयर, योर कंसंट्रेशन शुड ऑलवेज बी व्हाट, राइट बॉटम एंड लेफ्ट बॉटम. ओके, so here 496, if you are looking at this, so you can catch the problem. Okay, so there is something wrong, and if you are coming to this side, so you will get the actual problem. First आपका concentration यहाँ पर आएगा, our intention is what 16, and it is what we are getting 496. Yeah, something is wrong. Then I will look at this side. Okay, yeah, that's the problem. I am working with all story. So what I need to do?
One story.
बेस, सिलेक्ट बेस.
One story. तो मैं इसको क्या करूंगा, one story. अब क्या करूंगा, drag it from left to right. Now it is what
16.
So इसके ऊपर आपको कंसंट्रेशन देना है, which option it is actually in selection. Okay, वहां पर अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो फिर आप उसको पहले करेक्ट करिए. With a lot of care, we have to use this option, one story, all story, similar story option. Okay, now close it. Come back to your this command. Commands of editing existing model for dividing beam, slab, joining beams and slab respectively. Commands of editing existing model for dividing beams. Okay, now go to plan, come to any particular floor. If suppose a beam is there from this point to, continuous beam is there, another beam is coming to this point. Now I want to break this beam at this point. How I can do that? I need to select the frame, I need to select the joint about which I want to break it, I want to divide it. Then I need to go to editor, then go to edit frame, go to divide frame. So here the option you are getting, divide into a required number of parts. Suppose if any beam is there of 10 meter, what is the span of the beam? 10 meter. If I'm going to define here as I want to divide this frame into 5 span, 5 part, each part will be of what? 2 meter. So यहाँ पर आपको कितने नंबर में डिवाइड करना है वो स्पेसिफाई करना है, वो डिफाइन करना है. अकॉर्डिंगली योर सॉफ्टवेयर इज गोइंग टू डिवाइड इन इक्वल पार्ट्स और आपको वो डिवाइड हो जाएगा. सेकंड ऑप्शन है ब्रेक एट इंटरसेक्शन विद सिलेक्टेड फ्रेम एंड ज्वाइन. आपको कौन सा फ्रेम डिवाइड करना है और किस पॉइंट पर आपको डिवाइड करना है वो डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा. सो इसके लिए क्या करना है, फ्रेम सिलेक्ट करना है, ज्वाइंट सिलेक्ट करना है, सेकंड ऑप्शन अप्लाई. Now see, it is in part, right side and left side. Okay. Now third, break at intersection with the visible grid lines. So इसका concept थोड़ा सा different है actually. Okay. Yes, see, break at intersection with the visible grid lines. यहाँ पर देखिए फ्रेम है, by mistake my intention is to have this frame from this point to this up to this point, from this point to up to this point, my intention. Now suppose by mistake I have modeled this beam from this point to directly this point. Now I want to break this beam at this grid line, at the intersection of this grid and this grid. So this option you have to check, break at intersection with the visible grid lines. तो यहाँ पर आपको ग्रिड दिख रहा है. मैं सिंपली करूंगा जस्ट सिलेक्ट दी अप्लाई. सो सॉफ्टवेयर क्या करता है, आपको ग्रिड को ट्रेस करता है और उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपके बीम को डिवाइड कर देता है. लेट्स से अप्लाई. देखिए राइट पार्ट एंड लेफ्ट पार्ट.
Yes, sir.
सो इट इज व्हाट डिवाइडिंग ऑफ द फ्रेम. सिमिलरली क्या होता है हम लोगों को, समटाइम वी नीड टू क्लोज इट, divide the slab. Suppose one slab is from this point to this point to this point, these 4 edges are there of this slab. But यहाँ पर बीच में किसी रीजन की वजह से बीम आ गया. Due to any reason, we need to take the beam in between of from the mid of this slab. जैसे ही आपका बीम आएगा, we need to divide the slab. जब आपका बीम आता है स्लैब के ऊपर, सो आपको स्लैब को डिवाइड करना पड़ता है. और जब बीम रिमूव होता है किसी रीजन से, तो फिर आपको स्लैब को ऐड करना पड़ता है. सो नाउ द स्लैब हियर इट इज कमिंग. सेलेक्ट दिस स्लैब. आई वांट टू डिवाइड दिस स्लैब अबाउट दिस फ्रेम. देन गो टू एडिटर, go to edit shell. Previously we have seen that what editing of frame. Now I want to edit the shell. So go to edit shell, divide shell. Once you click on this divide shell, the first option, cut the floor object at selected frame object. Select this. Now say simply apply. Now it is going to be divided in 2 parts. Now suppose due to any reason this beam is going to be deleted. Now these 2 parts are there. I want to add these 2 parts. Go to edit shell, merge shells. Okay, so go to merge shell, and here the option you will get. Okay, now these 2 slabs is now added, and this wall single element will be there. Understood how to divide the slab, how to add the slab, how to divide the beams. Now we are going to see how to add the beams. Take the beam, close it. This is the first point, this is the second point, and this is the third point. Now these 2 beams are in parts. I want to add these 2 beams. So select the beam that you want to add and the joint about which you want to add. Then go to editor, go to edit frame, join frame. Once you click on that, now it is converted into single element. Understood how to divide the slab, how to add the slab, how to merge the slab. So both.
Yeah, if you add 2 beams,
Okay.
column will be there or column will be automatically removed from there?
Yeah, the column will be removed from there, or it may be present to that position. It depends on the situation. So actually this is all about today. We are going to conclude the session. We will discuss the later point tomorrow.